Brace, just wanted to show you real quick on what to do with some of these water bodies. Say you have a course that doesn't have a whole lot and you want to do it manually. You can open up the terrain and do the paint height terrain lowering method, where you would basically shift. If you pick this here and then you do shift left mouse, it's gonna detect the height of this part of the terrain. So it's 14.8. Let's imagine we're going to lower it 2 meters to 12.8. And then you're going to go in here, turn the opacity up, and you're going to do this by hand. It's just time consuming. It's not super accurate. Then you got to come in and smooth the edges after you've done that. And so if you got one or two, fine. But I'm going to show you what RAM does here. I'm going to Control Z that and put it back. But RAM is basically going to create this 3D object for you, which is going to be our lake polygon here. And if we select that, then I can just come in and Control click here. Now I'm just going to imagine my water comes across here. But you're just going to Control click points. And this is going to create your water body. And it's even got, you can come tweak the points there after the fact. But then it's kind of choppy in here, so you can increase the density on it, which is going to increase the curvature here because it's putting more vertices within that mesh. Now this mesh is going to cut our terrain as well, so you can raise or lower it. So I kind of put it down into the level of the water body, so it's going to go here and lower. And then your profile here on the terrain carve dictates how the shape's going to get cut out. So I've got some for cart paths that are flat. Some here, this is cart path that's going to make sides for your cart path. And then this one here is just going to lower things down. And so in the end, I've got this one that just lowers it. And then we click carve terrain. And it's going to carve anything that has a collider on it. So you actually want to hide trees if they're in the way or other objects because it will identify those and sometimes sit on those. But now you see it's made this water body for us. Below it, it's carved this low. So now let's put our reflective water material on this. And there are some prefab materials, I think, as well. But let me see. I think this is the PID one. You know, and so we can just drop that on there. I don't know that I'd have to add the what's called the caster here for reflective on it. But you get the idea. In the end, this is going to carve the terrain and create your water bodies right away. And I just think it's a really cool tool to utilize. And then also it can do cart paths as well, where it has a point-to-point path spline tool. And I actually just use that to smooth out my paths. And then I'm using the paths in the mesh generation. But in the end, if your paths don't sit on your terrain, you don't really need to utilize the paths part of it. But anyway, this is a great asset.